Hi guys, what's going on, and welcome back to another episode of Total War Arena. And we are back with our tier 8 solar javelins. I don't even know what they're called. Oh, the veteran Velites, I remember. Yeah, not took these guys out for a little bit now. We got quite far now down the upgrade path, so we're getting pretty good with them. Got the fully upgraded shield, and most importantly got the upgraded javelins. Gives that a little bit more into the penetration damage, which is important. A little bit of a very small amount of range, which is certainly not to be sniffed at, and a 10% reload rate, which is certainly one of the best bits. Sort of increases our damage output quite a lot. I think I'm tempted to go for the next, or to next go for the Greaves, or whether just to go straight for the unit. They do give that plus 5% movement speed, which would be pretty nice. So that's certainly an option, but I don't know if they really carry over. They probably don't. No, they don't really seem to, do they? Can make for some tough decisions. So we'll have to see about that going on forwards, but we shall see anyway. Other than that, they're pretty similar to most of the Roman Javelin units. You know, they're getting what's the penetration damage, 68 plus 17, about 85 probably, which is pretty decent. A good amount of damage. You know, the weapon damage is low enough that you're not going to penetrate in most things, at least not frontally, unless they're like Falconsman or something like that. And obviously that reload rate's pretty nice with that 10% reduction. You know, it takes us down to 3.5 on the reload rate, which is pretty good for a Javelin unit. So that's something to look forward to. Obviously, they get classically a dash like all the normal units, a focus fire, but they do get a hurl, which is certainly a nice ability, particularly for outranging other Javelin units. Although I do miss having the raised shields with them, so it means their missile block chance doesn't get that high. So they are kind of a lot more vulnerable to missile units in a way that they previously weren't. 44 on the missile block chance is not so amazing, so they can be a little bit more vulnerable to both enemy javelins and enemy archers and slingers. Take damage pretty quickly because there's not actually that many units per not many figures per unit, if you know what I mean, men in a unit, so you die pretty quickly if you're not careful. So anyway, let's just hop into a game and see if we can throw some javelins at people. So we are loading in an oasis with our javelins. I have no clue where I'm going to go. Let's go sort of between these two lots of Roman infantry. It might give us something to kind of protect us a little bit. Obviously we need to be staying with some sort of protection to try and keep our units alive. They have good damage potential, but obviously we don't want to be caught by cavalry, certainly not in the open, because we should get decimated fairly quickly. So let's see where both of these units of Romans go. There's also some tier 7 Carthaginian infantry on the flank as well, so there's a bit of an option there. But these guys are going up. Let's put our prescription on, I forgot to do that already. And a bit of a whip and a dash. Obviously these guys get pretty nice speed, 6.19. Once you're whipping and dashing them, obviously it's only a very short-term effect, but the whip is now permanent at this tier, because a tier 8 whip is on 12-second cooldown and 12-second duration, so you permanently whip yourselves. You're permanently getting that 23% movement speed buff. Not quite as high as it once was, because it did get nerfed a couple of patches ago, unfortunately, but still, it's not bad, so I can't complain. So the tier 8's going to the middle. Some slingers over there. We've got some guys over here coming a bit wider. Well, I should have perhaps have risked a hurl then to see if I could get in range. But it doesn't look like it's going to be. We don't know if there's going to be any enemy ranged units around here. Obviously, we don't have a raised shield like we did at tier 7, so we are quite vulnerable to range. We don't have a tremendous amount of body armor either. 131, even with shield armor. Kind of vulnerable to range. Take quite a lot of range damage. So you have to be careful of that. Like we're scouting forwards fairly well. Nothing so far. Is that friendly elephants? Oh no, that's archers. Somehow mistook those archers for elephants. Let's let our infantry go forwards a little bit more. Some of our cavalry's in trouble, but I'm not really in a position to move up there to help them. Just keep coming around. Just trying to keep a relatively good situational awareness. I'm surprised there's nothing here, to be honest. Ideally, I'd like to start to make some moves. There's some enemy javelins down there by the looks of it, and infantry. Got to be careful fighting the tier 7 javelins. As I say, they've got raised shields, so if we're both in range of each other and it's a head-to-head javelin off, more than likely they'll win because their missile block chance is that significantly part higher than mine. So yeah, got to be careful of that. Don't underestimate these enemy units. Make sure there's nothing hiding in this long grass. Doesn't look like there is. We're going to get hit by these artillery soon. Now, my question is, am I safe enough to dash forwards to try and go for these artillery? No, I think it looks like our own units are doing a good enough job of trying to go for them. So let's go for speed and dash forwards. I want to watch out for enemy cavalry, which is obviously a primary concern. Start to get into some range here with some of our units. Some volleys in the back. We've got these enemy javelins over here we've got to be careful of. We're both sort of doing the same thing to the enemy units there, going for against me. And I'm going against them. Let's see if I can push it up and maybe get a hurl off and get in range of these enemy javelins. Go on. Maybe a cheeky javelin throw. Oh, nice. That's the sort of damage we were looking for. Okay, let's just make sure we don't come into range of any enemy units. Particularly cavalry, that's what I'm mostly concerned about. We've got a little defence here, but not a great deal. Right, come out of range of them. Be careful. They're obviously wanting to keep well out of the way. We've got one unit of Libyan infantry, a lot of a dangerously large amount of archers concentrated here. Are they in Testudo? No, they're not. That's silly of them. It's what we would call a mistake. The enemy's moving up here, so we're going to have to make a move in a minute. I've just been hit by that, so let's pull back. Oh, we will get a... Oh, blimey. Talk about concentrated. Let's get a focus fire off on this, guys. Enemy javelins. Oh. Whip and dash. Whip and dash. Whip and dash. Gotta get out of range. There's Andrata's swords nearly catching me there. That was a bit too close for comfort. Our Libyan infantry moving up. I want to kill these enemy javelins really, but trying to get an opportunity. Got to bear in mind as well, you know, if I use my hurl ability, then as a consequence of that, I get a massive unit slowdown for quite a while. So it's not without risk. And that's one thing you've really got to remember. I might be a bit close for comfort on that focus fire there. Yeah. Let's have a go at these guys. How much damage is that going to cause? Oh, that was worth it. Yeah, that did quite a lot of damage to them. Let's see. No, don't like it. Oh, now they're coming into range now then. Go for them a bit more. Oh, see, this is the risk again, you see. You're making yourself vulnerable. Try to just keep that damage on them. I'm going to go for a lot of caltrops in a minute. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm going to get out the hell out of dodge. Watch out for the infantry charge! Ow! A little bit hit me there. Ah, we're being capped out as well. I hadn't even noticed. I'm so focused on my situation. Let's try and get a caltrop down.
Ready the caltrops!
Go on, keep yourselves whipped. Danger of routing here, though, particularly if they get a fear off on me. Yeah, got them a little bit on one of those caltrops there. Let's keep our dash going as well. Just trying to get out of here now. So we've got a few units trying to get back. I think we're pulling range here by the looks of things. Obviously what we want. Oh, come on, guys, please get the decap on. Oh, good job, good job. Right, we need to get back and get this decap. We're going to win this game, but we need to make sure we don't get capped out. So yes, that's one of the benefits of taking Sulla, say, over Caesar, is the ability to sort of do that. The movement speed, you know, that's something Caesar doesn't get. I get that Caesar is great in sort of competitive environments, particularly when you're working with a team, but when it comes to sort of one-on-one like this, they're not really so good. I'm going to be in trouble here again. Come on, people. Come on, baby. I need to hit those war dogs. I think they're the main cause of problem here. We have to get close. I know I'm going to get hit by those guys. I'm just going to completely ignore them. Are they going to walk out? Oh, they did. Hero. I don't really care about these guys. Let's go for a whole host of caltrops. Let's get out of here. We're getting ourselves into a little bit of a tight situation, but I understand that. Prepared to take that risk. Try and get a volley off. They obviously got charges available to them, so let's keep pulling ourselves down. We'll silence ourselves very slightly here. Try and finish them off. Keep moving. Whip ourselves again. Trying to pull range. Just come on, give him a flank. Should do him. Yeah, -8. -34. Ow. Just you people just die. How many is there? So many of them. I'm getting surrounded by these spearmen. Okay, pull back again. Really need some sort of a damage modifier. Can we get a bit of volley damage on some of these people? Enough to get a flank on them. Oh, come on, pull yourselves out, people. Oh dear, we're struggling with getting capped again. So we now have to pull back round this way. I'm not too worried about the damage he's doing. He's not doing very much damage to us. It's just things like the little bit of routing occasionally that's annoying. For us. Is he multi-ADs? Yes, that's what's making him so fast, you see. That's why he keeps getting these infantry charges off. No one who can deploy a caltrop easily either. Okay, there we go. There's a caltrop there. Let's pull back this way, get him to run over the caltrop, and then we'll turn on him. So now, try and get a bit of damage in, enough to get him. There we go. Get him into the wavering state. Oh god, we've got war dogs coming for me now. I know. Pull that this way. It's just a game of running away, this is. This is a risk when you sort of pull away from your infantry support. But I'm more pleased about the fact that we've got this game in the bag. That's the main thing to be thankful for, which I feel that we definitely have.
Whip them. Mark your target.
Pull back this way to make sure they run over our caltrops. Let's get our dash on. Quite quick, these guys are they, Minius? I've certainly got a bit unlucky in terms of enemy commanders and their unit abilities. Pull that way.
I have brought you
How
victory.
clever are they going to be with their?
Beat them in.
Fairly.
Javelins, destroy.
I'm multitasking now, that's why I'm not talking. I can't quite deal with the levels that are going on.
The chieftain, Arminius, is dead.
Oh, there we go. We're out anyway. You can see what I was trying to do there. I reached maximum capacity on my functioning ability. I was trying to split myself. I should have probably done that earlier on, would have made more sense. But I was trying to run one unit one way, the other unit the other, and then at least even if they got engaged by each other, the one can shoot to the enemies on the other side and the one can shoot the enemies facing them on the other side. So you can cross-fire. And once you split yourself up like that, the amount of damage javelins do means enemies have small enemies like that have a real hard time killing you because they don't do that much damage against you because you have pretty good melee defense with your shield and everything, and the damage potential of javelins is so high that you can get in quite well. So there we go. It's not to do too bad again. 2k on the aggression. We certainly got a bit of damage against some of the enemies. Highlighted some of the strengths and weaknesses of these guys. I do prefer them with Sulla over Caesar. I think. I think in team play, in party play, you know, if you're in a four-man party, particularly at the higher tiers, then Caesar becomes really powerful because he introduces a lot of buffs and silencing effects on enemy units, which makes him really quite strong. But I think for solo play, I'd prefer Sulla really, pretty much entirely for the movement speed. Plus you are actually doing quite a bit of team support because I'm minus 52% melee attack. He's really quite effective, and it makes it quite hard for enemies just to do damage against you. You know, once you're combining with the melee defense that these guys have and their shield melee defense, you know, they're actually not so bad, and you add a prescription on and it really lowers the ability for enemy units to hurt you. So yeah, it's pretty effective with these guys. So anyway, that's all I've got for you today. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Sorry about the slightly shoddy playstyle there at the end, and the fact we're just running away the whole game, but still, we won. So yeah, so I say, let me know what you think down below. Subscribe to the channel for lots more Total War Arena content, and I shall see you all on the next video.